Hello everyone, my name is Ian and welcome to my review of the Lafitear LF1. I would like to thank Eric Lab from Chi-Fi Love for recommending this IEM to me so that I can try it out and do a review on this IEM. The Lafitear LF1 is a single dynamic driver IEM and is currently retailing for $13 for this entire package. And I'm excited to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions about this IEM. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and let's begin. But before I do that, I hope you guys can consider to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. And after you've watched the entire video, do consider to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. This will help out my channel a lot. Thank you. Alright, so the LF1 comes in a box like this. On the box outside, it's got a picture of the IEM. At the back, it's got the specs of the IEM. And on the inside, it comes like this with the IEM. Supposed to be sitting here. I've already taken it out. And there are 3 tips that are being provided. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of the tips. The build quality of the tips is pretty poor and is a pretty short tip. And this tip does not give me a good seal. But in any case, it comes in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. So this is being provided. But on the cable, on the other hand, I quite like the cable. Right, it's a 4-core cable, and the quality of it is pretty good. The 3.5 headphone jack is a straight type headphone jack. Pretty good build, made of metal. Even the Y splitter is made of metal, so it's pretty good quality as well. The ear hooks is made of plastic, the memory ear hooks, so it's a pretty standard ear hook. And the connector is a 2-pin QDC style connector. So I feel that the accessories are pretty standard and nothing to shout out about. The IEM fits pretty nicely on my ears and doesn't hurt my ear, but the seal isn't too good, so I would suggest for you to change out to your own favorite tips when you're using this IEM. Alright, so let's talk about the specifications. This IEM has got a frequency response of 20 to 20,000 Hz. It's got an impedance of 20 ohms and a sensitivity of 115 dB. So, what attracted me to this IEM was the driver inside, which they claim is made of DLC, diamond and beryllium plated composite diaphragm. Well, there's no way for me to find out unless I open it, which I think I'll save it for another video. But for now, let's talk about the rest of the specs. Let's talk about the build quality of this. So the shell of the IEM is made of plastic. It's pretty big, it's huge, in fact, larger than most IEMs. It comes in 4 colors: black, pink, green, and purple. The color which I chose is black, and it comes in 2 options, with mic and the one without mic. So I feel that the build quality feels a little bit cheap. The nozzle is pretty narrow and standard, made of metal. And I guess for 13 bucks, this is what you're gonna get. Let's move on to the sound. I've measured this IEM. Let's take a look at the graph itself. The LF1 has a U-shaped tuning that generally is quite a safe way to tune an IEM. But looking closely at the graph, the treble area is where I'm concerned about. Let me show you what I measured, and I can explain better. As you can see, the shape of the graph levitates close to the U-shaped tuning. But you look at the treble, as compared to the Harman target, there are a few peaks and dips that bothers me. Let's just start with the sub bass and then we'll move up to the treble as we go along. For the sub bass, as you can see, the sub bass present is strong and is quite close to the Harman curve with a good amount of rumble. But the resonance is a bit short and it leaves me yearning for a longer rumble. The note weight of the rumble is warmish with a neutral tone to the bass and does not feel unnatural. Overall, the sub bass is pretty loose and might transit into the mids, which sometimes makes the sub bass sounds boomy. The mid bass slams pretty hard and quite impactful, to a point where it's a bit overwhelming on certain tracks, but thanks to the driver, this IEM produces a pretty fast and impactful bass. The tone and the timbre of the mid bass is well balanced and warm and has got a good note weight. And the transition into the mids is pretty smooth and blends well with the rest of the mix. As for the mids are natural and neutral. Instruments presents well in the mix and sometimes are veiled by the sub bass on certain tracks. Overall, I would say the instruments are just that little recessed in the mix and fighting for space with the percussions and bass. Violins and pianos and clarinets and trumpets, they do sound warm and natural and does have a good note weight to its tone. So much for the instruments. As for vocals, male vocals sound really good on the LF1. It's got good tone and timbre with warm and heavy note weight and commands authority in the mix and has got a very strong presence in the mix. Female vocals are bright and almost sparkle and presents a nice and soothing listen, though I thought I might add that sometimes they may sound harsh and shouty on certain tracks due to the 8K peak, which I will talk about later. Let's move on to the treble. So treble is the region which I am most concerned about. And looking at the graph, there are 3 prominent peaks and a huge dip that corresponds to what I hear. The first peak at 2 to 4K region is a good peak that gives me a sense of excitement and engagement to the track through a strong peanut gain, which is good. I like a good build-up of emotion to a track. And then there is a big dip at the 5K region, which most of the instruments, especially cymbal strikes and hi-hats, they sound a little bit veiled and hidden. And now to the peak, which bothers me the most, which is the peak at the 8K. Some tracks which has strong female vocals and electric guitar presence will sound peaky, shouty, and fatiguing to listen to. So overall, I feel that the treble is on the bright side, and the roll-off of the treble is quite okay, and it resonates well. It's pretty smooth. It's just that peaks that bothers me. Now let's talk about the technicalities of this IEM. The soundstage of this IEM is pretty standard, with the width to the sides and to the front. The layering of the depth of the sound is pretty flat. Instruments, percussions, and vocals tend to live on a single plane. Imaging, positioning, and sound separation is less than average, I'm afraid. Vocals, instruments, bass, percussions tend to blend together like a mixing pot, and not being able to tell them apart at times. So that brings me to detail retrieval and resolution, which is also a bit on the low side, I feel. Cymbal strikes and percussions, they sound blunt, and vocals, they sound muted. I rarely get to pick up the nuances of details for listening to my regular test songs. Overall, I find that the technicalities on the LF1 a bit underwhelming, and rightfully so at this price point. So in conclusion, I would recommend the LF1 to those who likes forward mids and bright trebles, bearing in mind that it may be a little bit harsh and shouty on certain tracks. If you like listening to EDC, techno, heavy metal, those type of genre of music, this $13 IEM may be a good budget set to start out with. But if you are a critical listener who likes to listen to classical, jazz, instruments, then I would suggest for you to skip this IEM. So on the whole, I'm not a big fan of this IEM, and honestly, it's not a keeper for me. So yeah, this concludes my thoughts and impressions of this Lafitear LF1. So I hope that you learned something from this video, and if you did, do consider to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Alright, so this is Ian signing out. I wish you guys have a great day ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Peace.